It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Yeah, welcome back to Declare Your Independence. Let's hear why they're protesting. I'll see if we can get a beat on this.
The protesters are demanding the ouster of President Hosni Mubarak and the opening up of a political system they feel has been rigged to benefit only the well-connected few. Although the country has experienced a healthy economic growth rate, millions of Egyptians have not benefited from the system, which they feel favors presidential cronies and political insiders. 40% of the population lives on less than $2 a day, while the political elite enjoy an opulent lifestyle. Protesters feel this will not change until Mubarak and his cronies are gone.
Well, are they right? Probably. So, now let's go ahead and, what else is going on? Let's go ahead and shut this off. How do we do this? But I want to play another video, too, on the same page. Let's see if we can do that. Because the whole thing that I'm wanting to explain is that there is a base fundamental reason why this is happening. Let's see if we can get this.
Developing quickly right now. State television has ordered that all protesters leave the square. This is a final warning, and the protesters have been trapped in the square for most of the day as Mubarak's supporters have come in by the thousands and sealed off the four main corners of Tahrir Square. There are, according to hospital officials here, at least 400 injured. We've been watching ambulances streaming out. There have been running battles with Molotov cocktails. We've heard several bursts of gunfire. What happens next, however, why the Egyptian state television is warning people to leave. There is an expectation that there could be some sort of final confrontation, either the troops moving in or the pro-Mubarak supporters making a big push to the center of the square.
Richard, this may be wishful thinking, but I was talking to a senior official who was saying that they believe there is a distinction to be made between the armed forces and the security forces loyal to Mubarak, who precipitated, they believe, these attacks on the unarmed protesters today. Do you think that is a reasonable distinction that can be made, that the army is still acting responsibly and that the government itself, those still loyal to Mubarak, are acting on their own, or is that a distinction without a difference?
It seems almost implausible to think that the government was not behind sending these several thousand. I would say there were probably 10 to 15,000 pro-government supporters who arrived simultaneously carrying very similar kind of banners, carrying weapons, on horseback. This was orchestrated. To make a distinction that these weren't the uniformed armed forces, instead they were some sort of militia, I think is probably not an accurate distinction. It is certainly not the way it is seen here. This is seen as an orchestrated move by the government, a crackdown against these protesters, but only by other means. Instead of using the army and using overt forces, they are sending in plainclothes, perhaps policemen, plainclothes thugs who many supporters believe are loyal to the government. And behind you could hear there are occasional bursts of gunfire, a lot of them coming from the area, the main choke point, which is the primary entrance to Tahrir Square. We have also spoken to the demonstrators. They have thinned out considerably. There are only perhaps a few thousand of them, which is still a large number, trapped in the center of Tahrir Square, and according to their organizers, they will not leave under any circumstances. They will not disperse. One of the leaders said they will die in Tahrir Square, and if they die, more people will come and try and retake back this center of Cairo tomorrow.
Richard Engel, thank you. I know you're going to be reporting all day. You know better than I, the first order of business is to stay safe.
Wow. This is you know what I noticed is that the woman that was doing that reporting, I think I recognize her. I want to bring something up that a lot of people don't know. Let me go ahead and do this. Tomorrow on my schedule here, I got John Lott. He does a lot on Fox News. He's going to be on the show tomorrow. That's going to be interesting. Friday, we have Jordan Page's new album is out, and he just had a daughter, and he's got two little boys, and he had a daughter, so he's really happy. and Professor Joshua Stacher. Now, they're going to be, let's see, what is the issue on that? I think, Sierra was to get us some information on Egypt. Let's see what he's going to be talking about. Yep, he's one of the best Egypt experts in the U.S. He's going to be talking about a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, so we'll be doing that. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to look for something. Let's do this one. I'm going to go wife of Greenspan. This was something that 4409 brought to my attention. I had no idea. Yep. You can't make this stuff up. Take a look at this. You'll look at this picture. The woman that was talking to this guy in Egypt is Alan Greenspan, former head of the Federal Reserve's wife. Seriously, I didn't believe him when he told me. I go, no way. And they go, yeah, on Politico, the page where this is at, it says, let's see, NBC News President Steve Capus today dismissed a recent Columbia Journalism Review piece as overly simplistic for calling into question whether Andrea Mitchell, wife of Alan Greenspan, was too conflicted in covering the financial mess. To me, it's a pretty easy balancing act, Mr. Capus told the Times. She knows where to draw the line. This whole thing is a manifestation of central banking, of inflation, of economic controls. That's what this whole thing is about. And to have her covering this and being Greenspan's wife, doesn't it make you go, I didn't know this. Did you know? You think I should know this. You think everybody should know this. MSNBC, the liberal side, right? Wife of Alan Greenspan is one of the prime reporters, and she's sitting on the anchor desk on that particular story. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't make it up. And I want to understand how it's going to manifest itself here for my grandchildren and my children. Last night we had a nice evening. It's getting really cold and everything, and we had our grandkids over. My daughter-in-law's mother had an ailment. They needed to go spend time with her. They dropped off the kids, and we got to do the first evening in our new house with the children, getting baths to the two babies, and we're just having a good old time and so on. And there's this cloud over my head. Because when you turn on the computer, Kaylee, the 1.5-year-old, she likes to dance. Yeehaw, man, we'd be dancing. Well, we go on the internet and we'll bring up some good dance stuff, some, Michael Jackson stuff, or, Thriller or Beat It or something like that. She likes that kind of beat. And as you turn on the computer, well, of course, the homepage is Freedom's Phoenix. Every time I go to Freedom's Phoenix, we have great contributors that put a lot of good stuff up there. And how can you not be affected by the knowledge when you know stuff from history and you see the progression? The only thing that we can do is prepare for what's coming. And I tell you the big thing, get food. That's it. I know, and after you got that, then you might want to stock up on some silver and ammo and guns or something. Because when you get to the streets, are you going to need to take guns? Egypt has plenty of guns, but they're not using them. How's this going to end?